With this product, first we want to start out with making sure that we do have the opening properly sized and prepped. It is relatively level. And we have a pan flashing material applied. This is a flex flashing product, and it is self-adhering. This is the first step in the application. So next, we're going to unpackage the window. Then we're going to apply our sealant. Now, the sealant, if properly applied, should be somewhere aligned close to where these pre-punched holes are. Now, the profile of the sealant tube, if you let it lay directly against the profile and start applying it, it will put it in that location. Also, I have cut a V-notch in the tip of this sealant. This gives you a more consistent bead of sealant across this application. So I'm going to let Thomas apply it. It is bright blue. You won't see bright blue in most applications. This is a very user-friendly sealant that we're using. It is actually toothpaste, ladies and folks. So we can clean it up easy and reuse. Now, because we do have a pan flashing applied, we have one of two options at the seal condition. One is to leave two 2-inch skip gap areas where we don't apply the sealant, or we can eliminate application of the sealant at the seal condition all in all. And that's the way we're going to do it. Yes. So we're going to not apply any sealant at the seal condition. This is kind of a, dealer's choice. So if you choose not to apply it, that's fine. And he's almost finished. Now we're going to elevate the window into the opening. Tilt it in. Now, Thomas is going to go around back, check this reveal, look at the reveal in the rough opening. And at this point in time is when we're going to want to level this window and make sure that it's level. And if any shimming needs to be done, and in this application, shimming may be needed to provide that positive drainage plane behind that window. We're going to utilize screws to install this window. Now, typically you want to penetrate the framing member of the structure a minimum of 1.5 inches. That means if you've got any type of exterior substrate like this zip wall, that fastener needs to be somewhere close to 2 inches. So you want to make sure and penetrate through that. Now in this case, we're going to use a little bit shorter of a screw because, well, we don't have that type of structure behind this wall. So if you have a system like you're using a insulated foam board over the exterior, Thomas, please feel free whenever you want. He's going to place fasteners in the top corners. And you want to place the fastener in the nail holes closest to the corner. If for whatever reason there's a damaged area at the corner and you can't get it, or the fastener is really close to the corner, as long as the fastener is within 4 inches of the corner of the frame of the window itself, not including the nail fin, then you can apply the fastener. So at this juncture, we're going to use the non-high performance application. This means that the fastener is applied in the corners and then every other nail hole. So he wants to apply the fasteners closer to the corner. And the best part about using this blue sealant is you're able to see the squeeze out. So that was the purpose here. Now, because this is a double hung window, before you secure all of the fasteners, you want to check on the inside and make sure that you can shim at that location. All right, so we need a fastener in these holes located here. Now you're going to have two holes closest together. Is that an issue? No. The minimum requirement is every other nail hole. Now, if this is a high performance application, like I said, you'd have to place a fastener in every hole, plus one through the side jamb on each side at the meeting rail from the interior side. All right, so the window is now fastened into the opening. Now we're going to flash it off. Now, the product that we're using is a straight flash by DuPont Tyvek, and we thank them for the product. Because we're going to repurpose this application later on in a couple of other shows, we're only going to stick it in a few spots. So we've prepped our flashing membrane to show you the proper application and how it should be placed. Please. The flashing at the head, it will run continuous and approximately 1 inch past the vertical legs. This flashing, however, is going to run up right about to this line, just maybe a little higher if you want. There you go. And he's going to stick it there. Notice how it flashes over top of your pan flashing at the same time. There you go. If this were being used in an R&R application, you have one of two options. You can use a nail fin and just remove some siding like what you see in this area here and use a trim board. And you'll see that later on in the next demo. What you've got going on right here, though, is he's feeding it down, creating a positive drainage plane. You want to do everything that you can to prevent a counter flashing detail, especially when this is basically giving your overall finish for managing that water behind the nailing fin. I'll hold this side. Now you want this flashing to run about 1 inch past your vertical flashing. And that's what we've done here. Next, he's going to want to J-roll this flashing on. Now he's going to use a J-roller and apply constant pressure. This is one of the steps that is most often missed in the field. The J-roller is a must for the flashing manufacturers to step up and say, hey, we're going to support everything that you've done here with the installation process. Most of the flashing manufacturers are going to ask that you let that sealant cure before applying the flashing. This is so that there's not a compatibility issue with the adhesion. So make sure you pay attention to that. Keep this in mind, folks. Every window manufacturer has specific details in their installation instructions when you're installing their products. Likewise, most of the flashing manufacturers do. Review those installation instructions. Make sure something hasn't changed on them.